Hi and welcome back to thesolution.golf. In this video I will going to discuss about low point of the swing, why it's important to control it and where should it be in order for you to have a successful shot with an iron. With the irons we would like the low point of the swing to be after the golf ball. In this way we will be able to create a downward strike onto the golf ball. Afterwards the club is going to go into the ground, which is going to stabilize the club face. In case the low point is before the ball, this is going to result in a shot that is going to be fat. There are many ways through which players end up having the low point of the swing before the golf ball. But in today's video, I'm just going to explain you how your shift weight can influence this aspect of the golf swing. Let's see a bit more in depth what I'm talking about. By taking the setup position, I'm going to distribute 50-50 my weight, which up to this point everything is correct. Now as I'm going to the top of the backswing, most of the people they are gonna place about 70% of the weight on the trail side. And then from this point there is one small issue that can go wrong, which I'm going to explain you right now. The position of your weight during the golf swing is going to have a massive influence on the position of the low point. One way we can check where is the low point is going to be the following way. I'm gonna take the setup position, weight is going to be 50-50 on each leg, and I'm just going to grip the club as such, and I'm just gonna let the gravity to act over the club head. And you can see now that the club head is pointing somewhere right behind the ball, which now in this case that means that the low point is going to be somewhere there. If I'll go to the top of the backswing and I'm gonna move 70% of my weight on the trail side, and I'm gonna do the same move again, place on the chest, you can see now that the low point of the swing has moved quite a bit behind the golf ball. Most of the time when I see this type of movement with amateur players, they all complain about the fat shot. The reason for this is because when you are at the top of the backswing, in that position, you do not have too much time in order to move all that weight on the lead leg, and as a result this is going to move as well the low point. And most of the time what you're going to end up doing, you're going to start a downswing, but because the downswing takes only 0.2 of a second, you will gonna be too slow with the weight transfer, and you're gonna have the low point still somewhere behind the ball, which you can see right here. Now is the part when I'm gonna hit two shots. In the first swing I'm going to keep the weight a bit more on the trail leg as I'm coming to hit the ball, so you can see how this is going to influence the low point of the swing. In the other swing I'm going to do a more correct movement where I'm gonna keep the weight a bit more on the lead side as I'm going down in the downswing. We have the two swings. The swing on the left is going to be when I have a bit more weight on the trail side as I'm going into the downswing. The swing on the right is going to be the correct one. What I want you to follow is how my weight is going to shift throughout the swing. I will mark the low point with a line that will run from my torso all the way to the floor. The first frame when we will stop will be when the club is parallel with the floor. You can already observe how my weight started to shift, and with it the low point is now more behind the ball than when I started the swing. Next stop will be lead arm parallel with the floor. Now the line is even further away from the ball. If you look at the swing on the right, you can see that the line is so much closer to the golf ball. This will encourage me to have a greater chance of striking the ball first and after the ground. Carrying on playing the videos, let's stop at the top of the backswing. At this point on the video from the right side, I already started to create the stretch between the upper body and the lower body. And because my weight is in a better position than on the image on the left, I have a better chance to strike the golf ball perfect. Last frame we check is going to be at the moment of impact. You can see the differences. On the left, I couldn't move enough weight towards the lead side, and as a result, the low point of the swing was slightly behind the ball. On the right, the line which represents the low point of the swing was in front of the ball, which means that I was struck the ball and then the turf. For the beginning, when you first try this drill, I don't want you to have a golf ball involved, because I want you to solely focus on the weight transfer that you are doing. So I'm just going to take the normal setup, and now the next step is going to be the following. I'm gonna take my lead foot and place it next to the trail foot. As such, the club is gonna remain in the same position. Now, I want to swing to the top of the backswing, and before you feel you reach the top, I want you to step with the lead foot forward or towards the target where it was the position when we started the drill. So if I take my setup position again, lead foot back, backswing, step forward. In this way, you're gonna learn how to move the weight from here, from the back side, from the trail side, a lot quicker on the front side or the lead side, and that's going to encourage you to hit the ball first and then the ground. Also, when you're gonna do this drill, you can see that the divot, let's say if I place a ball over here and I'm gonna start the club just behind the ball, you're gonna see that the divot, it's happening right after the golf ball, which in our case with the irons we want this to happen. There is one way in which you can do this drill in a wrong way. So by taking the position that I was just talked about, I'm gonna go to the top of the backswing. As you step forward, you're gonna still have your weight on the back leg, and you can see now that the club is going to hit somewhere way behind where the position of the golf ball would be, somewhere here, and that's gonna result in a fat shot as well. And that is going to look more like that. So I'm gonna go back and like that, and you can observe that the divot was way too far behind the golf ball. If I put the golf ball here as back as a reference point, and I'm gonna do the drill in a bad way, go to the top, you can see that my divot started right before the ball, which in this case is not what we want to achieve. Let's do the drill one more time in a correct way. So I'm gonna place the club in line with the golf ball, so we have a reference point. I'm gonna swing to the top of the backswing, step forward, weight, now it's on the front side, and now as I'm starting the downswing, you can see that the low point of the swing, it's somewhere here, which is a lot after the golf ball. So it's going to look like this. Let me know your thoughts about the drill in the comment box below, and also if you have any requests of the videos you would like to see, let me know as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time at thesolution.golf.